wearing a t-shirt that says never made.
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.
All right, guys. Today we got a special guest. His name is Rayden Bombardier, the Cali Kid from Power Slap. Rayden, how you doing?
I'm amazing, brother. Just taking in the Cali environment, man, you know? Chilling with Bob.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, you're from Thousand Oaks?
Thousand Oaks, yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Well, I was kind of raised in Atlanta, Georgia for half my life. So I lived over here in Thousand Oaks, and then I lived in Georgia for half my life, and then I was kind of back and forth, but I'm back here now.
Rayden, you've only had 2 fights on Power Slap. I don't think the fans have got to see enough of you. Can you tell me about your upbringing, who you are, and who you strive to be in life?
I mean, I guess from a young age, I was always striving to be like this superstar. Like I always seen like WWE superstars, and I was just so like wowed by them, man, and I still am. And I always knew that I was gonna be like some type of athlete. It's weird, like growing up, you would see me. I was 300 pounds. I didn't smell very good. I didn't have a lot of friends. Like you would have looked at me and you would have been like, man, there's no way this guy would be doing any of the stuff that I'm doing now. I'm like a completely different human, you know. And I went in and out of juvie and had some issues with the law and had some issues at school and got kicked out of school. And I'm just trying to make my life better now. Now my purpose is to be an amazing dad and to just to see how far I can take this whole fighting thing, because now a lot of people they've never gotten to this giant stage before. Everybody works their whole entire career to get up to this stage to be able to tell their story and things like that. And I'm here, you know. So now I'm doing it out of love, for the love of it. I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it purely for the love of fighting, for the fight, to get hit, to hit somebody.
Were you a UFC fan growing up, a WWE fan? What were you a fan of? Any sports?
I was a fan of WWE growing up, like just watching Edge and Kane, and just like I'm still a big WWE fan, and it's weird. I kind of always wanted to get away from conflict. You know, like I went through a lot of trauma as a little kid. So just kind of sitting there like in those uncomfortable environments, like being at the on the stage at the house, like while they're recording the TV show. Like I'm used to like being in like broken homes and things like that. So I'm very used to uncomfortable environments now. It's weird. I used to hate it so much, but now it's like I kind of like thrive in it. You know what I mean?
You were a troubled teen. You were in and out of juvie. Um, you were a WWE fan, but you liked violence, but you were trying to get away from conflict. Is what you said?
I liked the entertainment. You know, I like the entertainment part. Like, I didn't start liking UFC until like my father showed me Anderson Silva. They were talking about how great Anderson Silva was, this champion for over a decade, man. And he invited all his friends, and he was telling me every time this guy fights, we all buy it and we all watch it. And so my uncle and my dad and his friends, they all came together, and we waited and watched the Anderson Silva fight, and he got knocked the fuck out. And I was just, and there, everybody was just so shocked, and I was just like, "Whoa! Like, what is this sport? You know, like this is so cool." And that's where the love of MMA started, and just kind of getting overweight and just wanting to make a change in my life. You know, like I said, I was real troubled. Didn't really know what my place in life was. I didn't know what my calling was, but I knew that something big was meant for myself, and I was right.
I'm guessing just by your description of that event, it's a Silva versus Weidman one.
Yep, yep. And then we watched the second one too. And just like I ended up watching Conor McGregor fight Chad Mendez, Robbie Lawler, and Rory McDonald. Like I got to see all those fights like while they were happening on the TV. And it's just like, man, I'm so grateful for my dad and my uncle to put me into that spot to be able to love the sport, you know. just because I got to witness so many great things looking back on them. Now it's like huge pieces of history. Robbie Lawler spitting down and looking at Rory going fucking like crazy, bro. Like that's awesome. The upbringing of Conor McGregor, Anderson Silva getting knocked out. I am such a huge fan of combat sports. I just love this shit, man. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it and to just like be able to walk on stage and have moments with Dana and shit like that, man. I'm just doing it for the love of the sport now, man. I just want to I just want to go out there and put on a show for you guys.
When you said you love combat sports, the first thing I thought about is like, man, you're a fan of the UFC for this long. How does it feel meeting Dana?
It was a it was a crazy moment because people were like, "Oh man, you're lucky, right?" And I'm like, "No, like I actually had a lot of adversity going into that event. Like I knew there was a card going on, so I decided to drive 300 miles to this place, Las Vegas, Nevada, to try to get just to even put myself in the position to maybe get a fight. But it was a good reason why I came there. I ended up meeting Dana. Um, I A lot of people get things twisted, and I was gonna clear this up on Slap News, but I'll clear this up here. A lot of people looked at it a little differently and was like, "Hey, man, this guy's like over here asking for money," and I'm like, "No, dude, you guys have no fucking idea." Like, I sat there, I looked at Dana, and I was like, "Yo, man, I would love to fight on 13, 14, 15. Like, just give me a fight, man. I spent my rent money to get here. Like, the only thing I want is a fight. I don't give a fuck. If I would have lost my place because of it, I wouldn't have cared because I would have gotten what I wanted. You know what I mean? And so it was a big moment. He was like, "Hey man, how much is your rent?" And and I told him and he gave it to me. He was like, "Hey, good job, kid. Keep doing what you're doing." And I was like, "Man, I'm gonna put on such a good show for you, brother. Like, thank you. Like, you have no idea how much like I appreciate this." And there's so much shit going on. So he moved on, and that was the second time I had Dana. I had a moment with him. The first time he came up and he put me in like a headlock and was like, "You're giving me goosebumps, kid," because like I had waited to talk to him for so long. Yeah, but it's just great to have those moments with Dana, and I have all the proof that I need for myself that I'm doing the right things. I don't need to impress anybody. I'm over here trying to impress myself and do something cool for my son.
And just to clarify, you're talking about that time that you have this video on your Instagram too. Dana walks up to you and he asks you how much your rent is. You tell him how much it is, and he gives it. And he actually tells you, "Good job for doing what you're doing." Like you're literally just coming out to the event to ask for a fight.
That's the reason why I was there. That's it. I don't come out to these events to have fun. I come out here on straight business, and I come out there cutting weight. A lot of these fucking fighters, like Chris Debo or KO Chris Thomas, and I like KO Chris, but it's like, man, you have so many months or so much time to prepare to cut weight, and it's crazy. You got guys like me that are fucking hungry, that are putting my own money towards this, showing up. I'm fucking training all the time. It's like, and these guys can't even show up and make weight. It's crazy to me that they don't take it serious enough. And they don't deserve it, man. You know.
So you're feeling a little, you have a little bit of unrest just based on the fact that you feel like people who don't deserve the opportunity as much as you do are getting more opportunities than you.
And it's not just like me. There's other people that are great, like Vince Tracy. Vince Tracy's 2-0. We haven't seen him since the show. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? There's people like there's just so many people that have done well on the show, and we haven't got brought back yet, but they're bringing back people like Chris Debo. It's like, bro, that guy couldn't fucking make weight if his life depended on it, dude. That guy was going through some shit going into his last fight, and he couldn't take it serious enough to make fucking weight. People like that shouldn't be in the fucking show.
Gotcha. And what do you think is the reason that they keep rewarding these people that don't deserve it, in your opinion?
Longevity. They had been there for quite a while. you know. I mean, the sport isn't that old, you know. So for them to be there kind of at the origin of the sport, you know, I'm the new generation of fighters, man. Like honestly, like Chris Debo, KO, Chris Thomas, just like all these guys in my division, uh, none of them are like trained fighters. You know what I mean? Like they're just like average Joes that kind of just signed up and just kind of, you know, got in there and had some fun fights. Like I'm a trained Muay Thai MMA fighter. Like I train to hurt people. You know, I'm a new generation of fighter. Like I'm actually trying to put some professionalism in this. This isn't just slapping each other anymore on some redneck shit. Like I'm really trying to perfect my technique. I'm going in there with purpose. I'm thinking of my son every time I hit. Like I'm trying to put some entertainment but respect at the same time, and people like that, I mean, come on, bro. Like you're not even like athletes. And first off, let me say I didn't even sign up for the show. They asked me to be a part of the show, so I know my worth, and I know next time I fight, it's gonna be a great show.
Is there anybody that you're looking for? Anyone you want to call out?
There's some things that haven't came out yet, and I'm not sure when the right time for it to come out. It'll just kind of come out, but I always wanted to fight Stevie Ray Ellis. And I put respect on this because I think that he's just so entertaining, and I think that me and him could go out there and put on a car crash, man. Like it would just be fucking bonkers, man. You know, I like that guy, Slap Jesus. I know Slap Jesus isn't in, but I know Slap Jesus is just can't doing a comeback fight pretty soon. Uh, whatever company it may be, let's see, Stevie Ray, Slap Jesus, that dude Brandon Kerr that got into the fight with all those people in season 3. It'd be good to fight him. Honestly, at this point, I just want to do something so entertaining. Like, it doesn't really matter who's in front of me because I want to be a world champion. So you can put anybody in front of me as long as they're the same weight. I'm coming in with the same energy.
So you talked about the professionalism that goes into this sport, and it's not just people slapping each other. And after watching an event, I was at Power Slap 13. So after watching an event, I realized that pretty quickly. A lot of people think it's just slapping, but there's a lot of technique that goes into it. I wanted to ask you, what are some training techniques you use to strengthen your chin? Defensive techniques.
So I let my coach, his name's Derek May. I trained Muay Thai with him back in the day. I let him actually, so it's such a new sport. There's no way to really tell what works and what doesn't work. So I was like, man, it's been a while. I really want to get hit right now. Sounds crazy, I know. And I was like, man, I want to let you hit me. And I was telling him going to the UFC gym over here in Oxnard. I was like, when we get there, bro, like I want you to hit me. Like after, like let's work out hard, and then you're gonna fucking smack me, bro. But like he's like fucking huge, dude. But anyways, then we got there, and I was like, I can't get hurt. Like about to go to Power Slap 12 or whatever it was. Like so, I'm like trying to figure out what the best way is. So I had him put a pad on his hand and hit me. And so it's weird because Power Slap, the only way you can really train for Power Slap is by actually having matches. There's not really a good way of learning how to take the hits outside, or if you've never done it before, there's no way of really knowing how to do it. So like now, when I fought Neil Thomason, we had a good war, and he couldn't knock me out, right? He didn't have the power, and I stood hard like a brick, like he can't fucking move me. Bam, type shit. But then when I fought Josh Newsom, dude, he was so much fucking stronger than him, you know. And now I know, like, you can't always sit there like a brick. Sometimes you got to get hit and go with it, you know. And these are things that you learn over time, and if you have a good mind, you can kind of think about it, you know. If you're not learning from a loss, then it happened for no reason. And I'm 170 pounds. I went up to a higher weight class because they needed me to, you know. So now going down to 170, I think I'm gonna land some bombs on these motherfuckers, bro. I'm gonna knock somebody out, and it's gonna feel great. And I envision it, and I feel bad for whoever it might be. I don't really feel bad. It's just, you know, it is what it is.
You mentioned that your whole life you were like 300 pounds, right?
Yeah, I was like around 280, 300. I just kind of like when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, I was kind of isolated and I just kind of like ate a lot of food and played video games and watched wrestling and I just never came out of my room. And whenever I did, I got bullied hard as fuck, you know? So that's how I got big.
Do you feel like the oversized guy against these guys that are just like natural welterweights?
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to fight anybody smaller than me ever in my career, even in like my Muay Thai days and things like that. I always fought people at like 190. Like the guys that I were fighting like were like over 6 feet tall, like six. Like the last guy I fought in Muay Thai was like fucking like 6'5", 6'4", like 190. And just like cutting down. Like I said, I don't feel like a lot of people take the sport serious enough. Like as far as their weight and stuff, they're just kind of like there. So I do feel like I'm bigger than them. I'm not like a big person. Like I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", but I do feel like the bigger person. You know, I look at them and I'm like, oh, like they kind of look a little scrawny or small, or like, you know, it's crazy to, you know, I'm throwing a lot of shit at Debo and I don't mean to, but it's crazy to me, bro. He's that fucking small and you can't make weight. Like it's, I don't know. It's crazy, but you know, fuck him.
Man, I feel you. I feel them too because honestly, like I've been on like a million diets in my life. Always quit at some point, right?
They don't even try. Like when you think about, oh, you have to weigh this much and you get to make a couple grand. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna fucking cut that weight and I'm gonna make that weight. These guys are talking about how they're going through it in life. Then you should get your shit together and fucking make weight. Like you shouldn't joke about eating burgers and shit on fight week and things like that because you wasn't fucking joking. You don't take this shit serious enough. So
The KO Chris against Muniz situation, right?
like that too. Like I was
Okay.
talking about Chris Debo and his last fight. He's a ranked welterweight in the top 10 in my
Yeah.
division. But same thing with KO Chris. Like it's crazy how you couldn't make weight, man. And sometimes like back to professionalism, it's like sometimes these guys don't even try. It's like they don't even care. They're like, all right, whatever. I'll let the other guy cut weight and I'll just take the hit and I'll feel good. You know,
I didn't see any situation like someone was making an excuse. I think you mentioned that he said he was going through things.
Uh, yeah, no, Debo didn't really have an excuse, you know, it's just, you know, if you have personal problems and your way of dealing with them is your career and fighting and making money, you should take it like seriously. And this guy he just didn't take it serious, man. Which I'm talking about Chris Debo, like he just showed up to fight week on Power Slap 10 or 12 and whichever Power Slap it was, and just didn't take it serious. Like I said, it's been over a year of me being inactive. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, disparage anybody particularly, but this is just my weight class, you know, and it's just gnarly to me that I haven't had an opportunity to do anything yet, you know. But I'm not going to be one to complain. I know that I got some great things coming, and all the pain that I'm feeling right now is nothing compared to the joy that's coming. It's going to be great.
That's a good attitude to have because I can imagine if you know if it's running and you want to get out there, you want to compete, and they're not giving you the opportunity to do that. That must suck. How often are you messaging Frank?
Actually just had a talk with Frank and Erica, and this is the first time I'm talking about it too. Like I said, I was just gonna say it on Slap News, but sometimes people don't get the opportunity to do that type of stuff, you know. So I had a call with Frank and Erica, recently. It was about 10 minutes. I had just left the grocery store. I saw that I got a missed call. So I called them back, and it was them. They were like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm great." Uh, they were like, because I texted them, like you said, how often am I texting them? I texted them. I said, "Hey, I just want you to know that I have other opportunities that are coming my way, you know, because I've been kind of sitting here inactive for a year, and I fell in love with the sport. So, I want to smack again." And I hadn't heard from them literally for the whole year, and this is just me being so fucking truthful with you, bro. You know what I mean? I just really hadn't heard from them for the whole entire year, just like many other fighters. Like a lot of other fighters are going through it, and it's tough on them mentally because we're in a contract and you can't do anything unless you're like, you know, you're in a contract for 36 months. You can't do anything. So,
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I
you know,
didn't know that. Can you go into that a little deeper? The 36-month contract?
well, I think everybody's contracts are a little different, but I know my contract was is I got signed for 36 months from for my first fight, and so my technically my contract ends like sometime next year or something like that. But there's a lot of fighters that are just going to be kind of sitting there until that time period ends, and they're just not going to get a fight because that's how the contract works. Like they have all these pro wrestlers and stuff coming out, and I love them all. Like I love everybody winning, don't get me wrong, I love everybody winning, but it's just there's so many people that are coming in, there's not enough opportunities, And so I don't know if you noticed, but they just started doing a bunch of more matches on each power slap. They like added like 7 more matches. So good for them. They're trying to figure out the problem. They're trying to get more matches out for these guys that haven't had the opportunity. But this is the first time I'm saying this. So going back to what I was saying, I had that talk with Frank and Erica, and they asked me what my opportunities were, and I said, "It's crazy. I almost don't want to say it, but I will. Uh, I'm going to be going to the UK, and I'm going to be fighting in Brit Slap." And I asked Power Slap for the okay, and they were like, "You know what? We really like you. We really think you should do this." And yeah, basically they were just being super supportive, and I was like, "Look, man, like I'm being very serious. Like if you guys don't have any plans for me, then I want to go fight somebody." And I have other opportunities. Like I can make money doing this, and I'm not given the opportunity to go make money because I'm in a contract with you guys. I can go fight somewhere else. Like everybody's just waiting. Where's Rayden's fight? Where's Rayden's fight? Everybody's just been kind of waiting, and like, I'm tired of waiting. I'm ready to fight. I'm not willing to put my fate in somebody else's hands. I'm ready to go out there and put some work in. I want to get fucking hit in the face, dude. I want to fucking strike somebody. And I love Power Slap, and I had a great conversation with them. So I'm going to go knock somebody out in Brit Slap, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to the comeback's going to be even better. Everybody's puzzles are built differently. When when I first got into Power Slap, I fought Neil Thomason at 185. It was a last minute fight. I wasn't supposed to be in that fight, you know? Like I was in the house, then I got taken out of the competition, and then 5 minutes notice they were like, "Oh, somebody dropped out. You ready to go?" I fucking threw my mouthpiece in, was like, "Let's go." That's real last minute shit, man. So I get to really finally cut to 170 and uh, fight somebody. It doesn't really matter when, where, how much I'm getting paid. I just want to put on a show for everybody. I just want to get that aggression out. So there's a lot of athletes that go through like mental health issues and stuff like that, and uh, I really just want to get a fight in and just keep making my legacy go longer and stronger. And it's hard not getting a fight sometimes, because
I
you
can
just kind of
imagine.
get it, and you see all your friends getting fights around you, and I'm a really positive person. I really and I love all my friends getting fights around me because it's good for them. Like I'm not even going to these events now to like really be at the event. I'm going there to support specific people. I'm going there to get a fight. I actually had a ticket for 13, but I decided not to go because I felt like it wasn't going to help me in any way, you know? And if I feel like I would just wanted to go because I wanted to support, then I can support from afar.
So you guys are pretty tight knit, the Power Slap fam.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm super close with Pono Pao. Uh, that's my brother, man, for real. And it's funny because he's like so high up there, you know, and like we be hanging out, you know, and it's just silly because sometimes, and not to get too political, people don't want specific people hanging out in the higher ups. You know what I mean? And it's like man, this fucking dude's kind of getting like annoying, but it's like the family, the Power Slap family's so tight. Like all the fighters are so tight. It's hard to break, you know? Like no matter what red carpet you're on, no matter what hotel you go to, no matter where you are, you're always gonna have Power Slap fighters inviting other people into their hotel rooms and trying to help each other and trying to do stuff. It's a great sport because I've never seen support like that. It's like a football team, you know what I mean? Almost.
I noticed that when I went to Power Slap 13, like when you guys are walking out and walking back into the room after the fight, all the other fighters are consoling or congratulating and hyping up. And that was super sick to see. Honestly, another thing that was super sick to see was the Hawaiian presence. You know, the whole fam is there and they're loud and you know they're there and they take over the arena. And that was beautiful.
The presence of the Hawaiians since I've met them, not just in my career, but they've changed my life, man. Pono Pao, Marissa, their son King, their brother Keali, uh, his mom and dad, their mom and dad, their sisters and brothers. Just meeting them, you know, like you can feel the love between the Power Slap family. Like I would give my arm for Pono and Keali, man. You know, and like their family can tell. You know,
Why do you love them so much?
they're just great people, man. And when you've had a life that I've had, you know, it's kind of hard to trust people because people are so in and out of your life. And the only person I've ever really had around was my mom, you know, that ever really stayed. And uh, now I have my son, and just like since I met them, my son's, you know, grown like a year, 2 years. He's almost 2 years old now. So I've just taken so much. I just see what they do, and you know, I try to be a good person, and you know, I am a good person, but it's good to have somebody to lead from example from. You know, it's good to get that example from Pono Pao. Like when I'm lost and I can't figure things out, like right now I'm a little lost, bro, but I'm in a dark tunnel and there's a track, and he just taught me, man, like, you know, just keep following the track, you know, and you'll get somewhere, and you'll get past that tunnel. And when you get past that tunnel, there's going to be more tunnels eventually, you know what I mean? Life just never fucking ends, you know? So I just I'm just really grateful to have them in my life, you know? It's almost like I've had someone to be like a role model.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. And honestly, seeing them and how everyone looks at them too, you can tell what the energy is, they look like amazing people. I was there during Power Slap 13. Pono's finished. They had me on the screen reacting and all that. Rayden, man, I feel like you will be a fan favorite. Just stick in there. You're gonna get the fights. I'm glad you guys talked to Frank and Erica, and you guys are gonna you figure it out soon, and I'm excited to see what comes out of it because after having this conversation with you, you're a very down to earth, chill guy. We're from the kind of the same area, so I really appreciate you taking the time doing the show, and I've had so much fun talking to you. Is there something you want to leave us with?
Hey, man, the best has yet to come for the California Kid, man. I promise you. I'm only 25 years old, brother, so 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I'm going to have some dog fights, bro, and I can't wait. Thank you, brother, for having me on.
I appreciate you, Rayden. Guys, one more time for Rayden Bombardier, the Cali Kid. Look out for him. He's going to be out there. He's going to be competing in Bridge Slap soon. And after that, he has another fight on Power Slap. It's just not decided yet. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
To be continued.
To be continued. Yes, sir. Rayden, it was great to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, brother. Thank you, man.
He's wearing a t-shirt that says never made.
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.